Hello, my name is Sean Smith, and welcome to another OmniEd Brief. If you've been following this series, it's been focusing on using data to make decisions. And today we're going to continue with that, but I want to spend a few minutes on writing and formative assessments when it comes to digital data. So with that thought in mind, I'm going to give you an example of a tool that's out there that's for free, but I don't want us to ignore all the wonderful tools out there in our learning management systems that we can create and then use the system to automatically score, store, share data, host of other things. We actually have several little OmniEd briefs on these types of things. Also, there's a number of different apps to consider. And of course, there's an OmniEd brief talks about formative assessment and variations of these apps. But what I want to focus in on is a progress monitoring tool for writing. Now, I do want you to be aware that there's a link off the omnied.org site that shares a connection to this site, and this is Project Write. And Project Write offers information when it comes to everything from how to use a progress monitoring to videos in terms of scoring, data walks, and a host of other things. But that's not our focus right now. Our focus is on the overview of what this tool is. And I'll give this information in just a moment in terms of how to contact me and things of that nature. But why writing? Well, writing is fairly complex, isn't it? We need to find prompts. We need to be able to score it. It needs to be scored automatically. There's a host of challenges when it comes to writing and data collection. So this progress monitoring tool allows us to do that. So let me give you an example. So there's that contact information. I'll put that up there as we end as well. So first of all, the student signs in. Now this is a system where the student signs in, and then as soon as they sign in, they're given a prompt. Now that prompt is automatically generated. It's from a library of prompts, literally several hundred prompts. They're about the third grade reading level. They are for middle school narrative genres, persuasive, argumentative, etc. Now each prompt is an audio prompt as well, and the student has a minute to be able to think about it. Maybe they'll take a few notes on a notepad to consider what they might want to write. And then after that minute, they're given 3 minutes to actually write. So here in the text box, they type, 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 type. There's no saving. When the time is up, it's automatically saved. The student can automatically take a look at it as well as the teacher, and more importantly, the teacher. So in this instance, the teacher will see, well, okay, across time, how many have they written, and they can click on the actual dot, and it takes them to the actual data. So for example, in this instance, this was a student with a disability. They had limited words. They only typed 25. And then, of course, it gets correctly spelled, the sequence, the letters, and the number of words over time. Now here we can also take a look across the percentile of the students. So here we had 13 students who scored extremely well. So it's typically developing students. Those elements aren't particularly a challenge for them, but those struggling learners, individuals with disabilities, the students who are struggling, take a look, 25th percentile. We have 5 students that really were struggling based on these handwriting norms. So with that in mind, we can then take a look at those individuals and think of interventions that would follow. So for example, student 1, the recommendation is think about organization, convention, spelling, and things of that nature. And these are all hyperlinked to resources that teach those types of interventions. So there's a number of different formative assessments out there. There's a number of different tools out there for us to use. I'm sharing one, which is a writing progress monitoring. And again, feel free to contact me if you're interested in this. It's free, but it can be used in a variety of different ways, including the variety of different assessments out there. So I hope this was helpful. This is part of a series on using data to make decisions on omnied.org. There's a number of different ones in terms of everything from ins and outs for PM for writing to digital tools for formative assessments, and the list goes on. Hope this was helpful, and come on back to OmniEd Briefs.